Doug Ash leads the field of 24 410 sprints tonight at Williams Grove. A yellow flag in part for a tip Dave Cook. The restart. Keith Kaufman makes his move past the number 30 of Esch. Esch comes back on the inside, but it's Kaufman driving straight to the bottom of turn 3, starting a major pileup. Greg Hutton at 12 has a tire going down, and Todd Schaefer, 88, will have a win over Sean Michael and Lynn Thompson.
Todd, how close were you to the crash with Doug Esch and Keith Kaufman? And from your point of view, if you were able to see anything, what happened?
I don't know which one of them I went by first. That appeared to be about a foot, and then the next one I was actually hanging on because I was sure I was going to clip him with the right rear, and then right when I thought I missed him, then Fred come trickling out of the pile, and I just about clipped him. So we were very lucky, but you make your own luck sometimes.
Sophomore racer Danny Bolger is among 28 410 Port Royal regulars on June 22nd. Todd Schaefer, 88, takes the lead early from his 9th starting spot. But 8th place starter Keith Kaufman, 7, takes over for his 2nd Port win of the week. On the final turn of the race, Mark Smith, running without a nose ring, crowds Dan Bolger up to the rail. Dan will be out of action for a couple of weeks rebuilding. Here's Keith.
Bad night last night makes it worthwhile tonight.
Well, I got to give my guys a lot of credit. Rat and Tony and Gary and Bob and everybody. They had to work all night. This car wasn't together this morning, and they put it together. We tore the car up real bad last night leading, and they got her together and they got her right. They do a heck of a job.
June 25th. Michelle Miller's pre-race pit stroll has turned heads in many a micro-sprint pit area. This is Kutztown. Nate Crest finds the wall. Here's Michelle Miller again in the yellow Ford, holding off one of the best in the East, Randy West, number 23. Jason Kohler takes a close look at the clay. Randy and Michelle continue a classic. Kohler's night continues. Randy West finally gains the advantage. Michelle finished 2nd with her father Mike Miller 3rd. The Micros, Legends, and Slingshots put on a great show here at Kutztown every Wednesday night, and the show is over early enough for working people, so come on out. 28 358 sprints are at Selinsgrove for the Firecracker 40 on June 29th. 48-year-old veteran Jimmy Nace, number 6, leads, hoping for his 2nd win of the season here. Adrian Schaefer, 21, is digging his visit to the big track, really wanding out the high groove, running down the leader, taking first on the 18th circuit. Adrian opened a large lead until with just 3 laps to go, something goes very wrong. It's 5-time Selinsgrove Sprint Point champ Nace home first over Darren Ace and TJ Stutz.
I know before you went on vacation last week, you were getting pretty frustrated. You told us that there in the tower. Maybe this here will get it turned around now.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. Our car got tight from the last time we were to Victory Lane was the 3rd week of the season, and the car was running so fast, I'd have bet we'd have won 10 races this year. Hey, we still might, I don't know, but it wasn't looking very good. Earlier, right after that, the car just got so tight, and here what happened was the motor was actually broke for about 5 weeks. Front motor, the front main bearing web was busted out of it, and it ended up blowing up here 2 weeks ago. And when we tore it apart here, the motor's been cracked for weeks. You could see where it was working, and that's what was making the car so tight. And we kept working and working, and we were getting a little frustrated because I did think we knew a little bit about what made these things tick, and I couldn't get the thing loosened up.
Over at Port Royal, Shermansdale's Jeremy Gardner wires the cars feature over Dan Rich Creek and Jake Rodabaugh. It's Jeremy's 2nd career sprint car win. 58 super sportsmen are at Silver Spring. Denny Hager gets over Lanny Hake and dumps it. Nobody ever has a bad word to say about 64-year-old National Sprint Car Hall of Famer Smokey Snellbaker. Here the Dover resident driving the yellow 32 holds off all challengers after taking first from his 7th place starting spot. The circuit's all-time favorite wins the Silver Spring Firecracker 40 over Frankie Herr and Steve Cannon.
So I want to tell you, Frankie and Stevie Cannon, boy, they didn't give me a break, you know, and damn, they only give an old man like me a break every now and then. You have to have a talk with them back here behind the curtains and let them know what's going on, right? Well, as long as they're looking at that end of the car, I'm happy.
Finally, on this hot evening, over at Lincoln, the high-dollar time trial Speed Week series opens with Greg Hodnett on the pole. Donnie Kreitz started and finished second. Lance DeWeese started and finished third. June 30th. Speed Week comes to Bechtelsville. Lake Grandview is ruled by a 3-foot carp. Bubba and his friends are rather well fed on race night. The car sprints make it a double-header. Dale Hammaker in the white 66 takes the low route past the 22 of early race leader Darren Aish. Granville's Hammaker leads the rest of the way despite this near disaster with a lapped car. Aish and Keith Krutzman followed Dale across the finish. Fred Raymer starts on the pole for the second leg of PA Speed Week.
The 50th event in the history of Thunder on the Hill, the CarQuest Auto Parts Series feature ready to go. The moment of truth has arrived. Here they come. Green is out. Here comes Mark Smith. He's clearing traffic beautifully, running that outside groove. Whoa, Mark Smith now spinning. Oh, unbelievable. Mark Smith on his side in the infield.
The 88 of Raymer still leads after an early race red for Mark Smith. A late race red for Mark Smith. This time he's out for the night.
Lance DeWeese closing on fast, Freddy into traffic. Raymer high. Here comes DeWeese. Right behind him down the back straightaway. Heavy traffic. Raymer leading DeWeese into the corner. DeWeese going for the bottom groove. No dice. Here comes fast Freddy Raymer. Taking the victory. DeWeese second. Kaufman will be third over Hodnett, then Esch.
So far, Speed Week Time Trial Handicapping has presented the fans with 70 laps of perfect, no pass for the lead feature racing. Big Diamond history includes about half a dozen 410 sprint shows, every one of them a down-to-the-wire barn burner. This record ended tonight, but we do have Speed Week's first pass for the lead as Greg Hodnett goes by both Shawn Michael and Keith Kaufman on a restart. Kaufman finished second with Lance DeWeese third. The last two annual Wednesday Silver Spring Speed Week shows ended at 9:30. Look at the crowd. It's surely the spring's biggest front gate take ever. Brooke Weibly will qualify the same car later.
Oh, we got problems down in turn one. Oh, my goodness sakes. Billboard and all.
Don McGee calls it a night. Lance DeWeese started on the pole, but we will have a first win of the year for Shawn Michael in his Zemco number 1. Fred Raymer third.
DeWeese and Michael flying into turn 3. Here comes Shawn on the top, DeWeese on the bottom, and we got a new leader into turn 1. Shawn Michael, hard and strong, is your leader down the backstretch.
What can I say now? Jerry Regal will have to quit, even though he bashed me pretty hard last week by saying I'm going to get fired by the end of July. But, hey, I'm still here. John's sticking with me, and, this is a team effort, and I lost some races, and, the team, the car also broke and lost some races for us. So we're getting our act together, and I got to thank John, Pee-wee. She didn't come tonight. I guess she's losing faith in us. I don't know, but the whole crew, Tommy Carl, Ryan Hand, Bondo, they all do a great job.
Here they come. The rookie, Richie Hartman, brings them around.
The Super Sportsmen make up a rainout tonight.
Oh, are these guys fast? Down the back backstretch. We got a great battle here with Glenn Keller and Dave Calaman going tooth and nail. Dave Calaman out in front.
An early race red is for Bill Brown, who nailed the third turn cement. After dropping back to third at the start, it's rookie Richie Hartman, 39, finding the fast groove and taking first from Dave Calaman, 19. And now Calaman will have to go to the rear. Richie Hartman goes on to his first career sportsman win over Frankie Herr and Jim Shuttlesworth.
Yeah, kind of screwed up on the start there. Wasn't really what I was looking for, but I was telling Joe Reniker in the pits that it would probably be better if I was second because I would know where to go, and Calaman kind of showed me that the outside wasn't that great, and I finally got a good run on him once we ran a long green, and it paid off. I don't know what happened to him, but we beat Frankie, we beat Newman, we beat the best, and it feels great.
Here they come, the green is out. Well, we've got one going way
Thursday, the green is out at a slick one groove Susquehanna. The race is to turn one. Chris H is the first loser. Indiana's Brett Mann and Mark Smith bring the field down for the second try.
Here they come.
The third try. Brett Mann, driving the Jerry Parrish 21, wins. On a late race restart, Lance DeWeese attempted to pass a bobbling Fred Raymer, 88. Mark Smith gets the worst of it.
22 car.
Mann's the man, picking up $4,000 for his win over Keith Kaufman and Shawn Michael.
Brett Mann, welcome to Victory Lane. Oh, thanks a lot. This is it's about the biggest win of my career. I had a USAC win probably 10 years ago, but this one here kind of puts me on the map. A lot of people don't really know who I am, but we run real good back home. But like I say, now everybody's going to know who Brett Mann is.
Friday night, the Mitch Smith Memorial at Williams Grove pays $10,000 to win.
Keith Kaufman going for the lead, turn number one. He's got it.
Billy Sims brings out the red on lap 2. The restart brings greater calamity as top drivers try to race their wing sprint side by side down the back chute.
Loses the lead to Mike Robley. Michael Raymer, trouble on the backstretch.
In the replay, we see Shawn Michael on the outside catching an air current with his wing, getting sucked toward the inside, spooking Lance DeWeese into Fred Raymer. Kaufman will give up the win to the Red Rocket, Greg Hodnett, number 12, with Michael third.
Kaufman slides for the flying lead as Hodnett drives off the bottom. Hodnett makes a lead on the backstretch and drives by. Greg Hodnett driving off the bottom in the lead.
Greg, what did you see as far as the big wreck after the first lap was completed? We know you had to be very close to that.
Yeah, the guys came down on the red, and they were asking me what I needed, and I kept motioning a little thing and doing like this, and they're like, man, what the hell are you talking about? I said, dude, I need some freaking toilet paper after that.
The highlight of the season is Speed Week Saturday at Port Royal. Kyle Gano is back at the track.
Good to have you back at the track.
It's great to be back.
Tell you what, can't keep a good man down.
Nope, I'm ready to race again.
$5,000 awaits the winner. Look them over in the middle of 3 and 4. Here they come off of turn 4. Full power, the sprint cars at Port Royal. Keith Kaufman jumps right out of the lead, down to the third one.
Keith Kaufman, 7, led every lap for the $5,000 win over Donnie Kreitz and Shawn Michael. Selinsgrove hosts the Speed Week finale. One has one doesn't. Sean Keane is a gasser, but wins have come hard. They call Mike Walter Hurricane. Once again, 33-year-old Greg Hodnett in the Apple 12 comes from third starting spot to relieve pole sitter Keith Kaufman of the first position.
The top two in the Speed Week point standings going at it down in 3 and 4. Hodnett pulls alongside Kaufman.
On a late race restart, Fred Raymer turned around the lap car of Josh Wells. Todd Hester slides into Wells, and luckless Sean Keane has lots of work to do back at his speed shop. Kaufman and Raymer followed the Speed Week champ across the finish.
Checkered flag on Greg Hodnett.
The 358 sprints were also on the Sunday night program, which ran until 11:30. Rick Hench, number 1, takes first from Jimmy Nace on the second lap.
Down to Maastricht, Rick Hench right there behind Jimmy Nace. Hench goes to the inside, taking the lead.
Darren Ace would also get past Nace to finish second, behind the red number 1 of 38-year-old Rick Hench. With hot, clear weather, the 8-race and 9-day Speed Week series has been a big success, with full houses everywhere. July 12th, 37 super sportsmen visit Williams Grove. Billy Schaafstall takes the low groove. Kirby Seitz gets over under caution, and here goes the feature.
Frankie working the low side, Calaman up top. Frankie Hearn tries to draw alongside Calaman as they get to turn number 3. Calaman slams the door on Frankie. Frank backs off the gas, turns the car to the low side of the racetrack and challenges Calaman for the lead. As they get to the start-finish line, we've got a new leader on lap number 2. It is Frankie Hearn. Calaman using up all the racetrack to challenge Frankie Hearn. Frankie on the bottom. Calaman goes high. Calaman racing for the lead off turn.
Midway through, Dave Calaman, 19, is back on top as he and fellow veteran Frankie Hearn continue their duel. With 3 laps to go, Richie Hartman gets sucked into the rail. Leader Calaman narrowly avoids the overturned racer. It's Calaman's second win of the season over Dave Newman, with her slipping to third.
Well, Frankie Hearn drove by you, and usually in open wheel racing when that happens, it's kind of a done deal, but not tonight. You hooked it up on the outside, got right up there near the guardrail, drove back by Frankie.
Well, I sort of had to feel it out a little bit. I knew the top was way up there, and I knew you could run it, but it's a long way around with these sportsman cars, so I figured I better get with the program and get after it if I was going to do it, and it worked out.
Mark Smith, 22, gets his first Williams Grove win with this lap 6 pass of Chris Knopp.
Ducks to the low side, slides up in front of Knopp, catches the cushion, scrubs some speed, but takes the lead and keeps the lead.
Oh yeah, this really tops my day. I mean, Sunday's my birthday, so it's a pretty good weekend so far.
How old are you going to be?
31.
Still a baby as far as sprint car drivers are concerned. You're pretty much doing this for a living these days, aren't you?
Well, pretty much. I mean, I work at the speed shop in the daytime and then work on my race cars at night, so I'm pretty much full-time racing.
Don Kreitz and Greg Hodnett followed Newport Smith across the finish. Dan Shetler catches the Lincoln Wall on July 13th. Michael Markey will lead for 8 laps. Steve Siegel, 66, will lead for 5 laps. Lap 13, 12th place starter Fred Raymer, 88, moves in front. Markey's good ride comes to an end. Fred Raymer holds off the 77 of Lance DeWeese among lap traffic for his 6th Lincoln win of the season. Steve Siegel held on for 3rd. Fred talks candidly with yours truly about DeWeese's late race challenge.
Coming off at 2, I knew I had to be on the top at the exit, and I seen him out there, and I thought, well, it sucks to be you.
Over at Silver Spring, Carmen Perigo, number 2, comes out on top of the 56-car field for his first one of the season. Here, the 14th place starter moves around the outside of Mark Zimmerman to take the lead on the 13th lap. The Stoystown native crossed the finish in front of Frankie Herr and Jim Shuttlesworth. Zimmerman held on for 5th. Next is a big sprint car show at Grandview on July 16th.
Down the back straightaway, closing in on Billy the Kid. Lap number 5 off the corner, halfway. Trevor Lewis, whoa, Lewis spins. And Pouch and Kaufman get tangled up with him. He's got a red.
Mark Smith leads the feature as Judy Bates joins Keith Kaufman as members of tonight's Upside Down Club. On the restart, Lance DeWeese challenges leader Smith.
Smith high, DeWeese slow. Hindman is in third for the second time. Michael now going by Hagenbach, and up the inside comes Brooke Lively. Motoring into the corner, side by side, battle for the lead. Smith and DeWeese down the back. Hindman third, side by side, Michael and Lively into the corner. Here's DeWeese on the bottom, and Smith on the outside into the turn. High and heavy action for the lead. Whoa, DeWeese pulls a slide job on Mark Smith who spins, and DeWeese almost hits the wall, and they both keep going. Holy cow!
Lap 10, Greg Hudden at 12 makes the winning pass. Donnie Kreitz will move up to second with DeWeese finishing third. The Red Apple Rocket collects over $4,000 for his win over the 24-car field. Vince Snyder is among the 23-car 410 sprint field as Port Royal presents a wild Thursday night special on July 18th. Vince was running 9th in his heat race before something broke. Tim Wilson also stimulates shop parts economy during heat race rowdiness. Lance DeWeese drew the pole for the feature. Joe Deal does a lot of excavation work around the Port Royal grounds when he's not racing or fixing his black racer. Joe is okay. Fred Raymer, 88, closes in, but DeWeese is back home on the Port Royal stage. Keith Kaufman settled for third.
Tell you what, you had a fast-moving Fred Raymer on your tail for about the last 8 laps.
Well, yeah, I seen Kreitz there. Must have been pretty nice there earlier. Then, a couple other guys come up through there. So, we're taking advantage of that good draw. We finally got a decent draw. But, I seen guys start up front and not win them. We led at Grandview and didn't win. So, we'll take this one and move on.
Definitely, Lance, been a little slump as far as getting to victory lane lately.
Yeah, we haven't been real good at all. And really tonight we've been all right, but I don't think we were good enough to start back and win it. So, but sometimes you have to get the brakes go your way, and we got the brakes go our way tonight.
25 super sportsmen brave threatening weather to do it Port Royal style. Pat Cannon gets bumped and some serious airtime. Another look. Much concern over Pat, who walks away. As does Miss Port Royal. We appreciate the women's movement, especially when we're behind it. Hamburg's Kirby Seitz, 95, is on his wheels this time and holding off a last lap challenge by Dave Kellerman in the non-stop 1,000 to win 20 laps. Bobby Howard finished third.
Well, Kirby, first of all, congratulations. I talked to your brother many a times, but this is the first for you.
Yeah, I can't believe we won. I was just hoping for a top 5.
Well, I'll tell you what, I bet you're glad to see a checkered flag come out because you had one Dave Kellerman coming.
I figured the big boys would be coming sooner or later. I was just hanging on.
Silver Spring celebrates 50 years on July 20th. Number 46 was here for opening day, 1952. Summerdale's J.R. Fry, number 42, who lost his sportsman racer in a garage fire earlier in the year, recovers with a $5,500 win. Dave Newman and Jim Shuttlesworth followed Fry across the finish. Time to catch up on some Lincoln 358 thrills. The car counts remain very healthy. Chad Trout demonstrates the popular over-the-wheel into-the-wall maneuver. The table turns on Mike Ressler, who gets some airtime.
He'll collect any gross Mike Ressler, Joe Ilg.
Mike Cragen can't find the hole in turn 1.
Sideways, Weller tucked in. He's going to collect the race car.
Joe Ilg flips after finding the rail. Dan Richcreek leads the July 20th feature at the start. Dan's number 80 led until this lap 6 restart. Second generation racer Jim Siegel in the white 59 moves around on the outside. Kenny Four-endos down the back chute midway through the 20-lapper. The 10th lap restart sets up a winning pass by Corey Haas, who started in 20th position. Corey from Dallastown pads his point lead with his third feature win in a row here at Lincoln. Siegel finished second, with Greg Libby coming on for third.
We were talking all year long before you got a win. You just knew consistency was keeping you there. The wins would come. Did you ever dream 3 in a row?
Well, you know, I knew if we started winning, and I thought we could get on a pretty good roll. You know, of course, I didn't think it would be 3 of them. There's a lot of great drivers in this division: Eric and Joe Ilg and Jimmy Gregg, a whole bunch of them, Alan Crimes. You know, we were just fortunate, you know, to miss the crashes and miss everything, and you know, get out on top again.
New Oxford's Michael Markey is among 28 410 sprinters pit side tonight for the Gone Memorial. Here Mike gets over a spinning car during qualifying. A couple of heats later, Glendon Forsyth launches the Tanger 07. Another look shows it's a double, as Trevor Lewis takes a similar ride. Like Glendon, Trevor is A-OK. Feature time. Steve Siegel, 66, takes first from Doug Esch on lap 12.
Siegel, who's it gonna be? Siegel, your new leader, Steve Siegel.
4 circuits later, Chris A, 17, is in front. Note Fred Raymer, 88, up to third. The 19th lap. Fast Freddie Raymer is reclaiming his throne as King of Lincoln.
Here we go, 3 and 4, Fred Raymer to the inside. Chris Ash back to the bottom and no. Raymer, your leader with 5 laps to go. Now Chris Ash goes to the bottom, trying to challenge for the lead. Chris Ash, Fred Raymer lock bumpers. Ash won't let him.
Steve Siegel will follow Raymer and Aish across the finish.
Yeah, let me straighten something out. Chris didn't do nothing I wouldn't have done. It's just one of them deals. He was probably faster than me them last couple laps, and I got the car as wide as I could. He had the faster car. We just won.
The Micros rush the fairgrounds at Kutztown on July 23rd. Jimmy Funk on his side. Dan Updike is also upended. Jason Hamilton gets bounced around, but will get right back into feature action. 15-year-old Billy Pouch Jr. leads over the 25 of Stevie Buckwalter. Hamilton has 3 wins over at Borders Speedway, but this is not his night. Randy West drops into the infield, allowing Mike Miller the point championship. Randy's early exit has undesirable consequences for several other racers. Buckwater takes the lead from the Kids Kid on lap 16, having come all the way from 12th starting spot. Stevie has an ARDC midget win this season, along with several in the micro sprints. The World of Outlaws are back in the Keystone State, making their ever-popular appearance at Lernerville on July 23rd. The Don Martin Memorial winner's check is up to $35,000. Facing threatening weather, we are sure glad we made the trip to see Western PA racing history made by the Apollo Rocket, Ed Lynch Jr. The giant crowd cheered as their local leads the feature, but few really expected him to win it. There goes the 17 of Joey Saldana by him now, but Ed's Deuce rockets right back in front. Tim Schaefer makes it a three-way battle for first. After Saldana tangled with a lap car, Schaefer's number 83 exchanges the lead with Lynch a couple more times. But it'll be Western PA posse leader Ed Lynch home first for his biggest career win and first with the Outlaws. Ed has really paid his dues over the years, and even the Outlaw officials were smiling. It was one of the best Outlaw features and most popular wins we have ever seen. Mark Kinzer followed Ed and Tim across the finish.
Good job. We've talked a lot of times down here, but never like this. This is history. Boy, it was a lot of wishful thinking in the hometown. Got to see the hometown boy work well. It's amazing. A lot of hard work. Paul Kistler built me a hell of an engine. J&J Chassis built me a hell of a race car. Hoosier tires are great. VRP shocks. I just can't say enough about everybody that helps me. My mom, my dad, my little boys, my wife. I tell you, that's it. I tell you, Don, the Lernerville fans really got to be proud. They can walk out of here with their heads up. We can't get them to stop cheering.
July 25th at Williams Grove, things will be more normal as point leader, dash winner, and defending champ Danny Lazowski in the number 20 starts on the pole and leads every lap.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime at Williams Grove Speedway right now. Danny Lazowski leads the pack into turn number 1. Lazowski off the cushion, Michael down low. Meanwhile, the leader is off turn number 4, and Danny Lazowski has won at Williams Grove Speedway. Shawn Michael will finish second. Tim Schaefer third.
Trying to tell them how much you wanted to win. I don't know if they believe me. You tell them how much this means to you.
I'm telling you what, this is about, this rate's right up there with any victory we've had. I'll tell you, I've been wanting to win here forever, and starting on the front row here and actually winning on the top is unbelievable. But I'm also real proud of my daughter. She played in the Missouri State Championship softball league today. She's 14 and she's going to the World Series, so I'm pretty proud of her too.
Racing fortunes can change faster than a woman can change her mind. Lazowski gets beat up after blowing a tire during warm-ups Friday night at Williams Grove. The dude is tough. He beat cancer 10 years ago and will be back behind the wheel at Knoxville in a few days. This is the second year in a row we've seen a top outlaw machine come apart like this. A weight limit is on the way, hopefully directed at the rear axle housing.
Tim Schaefer drives by Honda on the backstretch.
With Tim Schaefer still leading, Todd Schaefer blows an engine with 2 laps to go, giving Joey Saldana a shot at his first Grove win. Steve Kinzer will finish third.
Schaefer takes the middle for 1 and 2. Saldana right there. Joey Saldana all over Schaefer going into 3. Saldana ducks slow, slides up in front of Tim Schaefer. We got a new leader. At the white flag, Joey Saldana has taken the lead. Schaefer tries to come back on him 1 and 2, can't do it. The Brownsburg Bullet pulling away.
Well, I definitely needed the restart to win the race. I was good, but Tim got by Greg and Furr a lot quicker than I could, and I figured the race was over, so I got to thank Todd Schaefer for blowing up, because that's why I won the race. I knew I had a good car. We put a little harder tire on than Tim did, so I knew there at the end I could slide to that black pretty hard and make it stick.
Saturday night, the Outlaws wrap up a successful 3-night Williams Grove stand with 2 passes for the lead and revenge by the PA posse. Familiar players here as Joey Saldana, 17, again takes first from Tim Schaefer on the 4th lap. But with 2 laps to go in the 30-lapper, Greg Hodnett, who lost a cylinder while running up front last night, completes a winning charge from 6th place starting spot for his 14th win of the season. It's worth $20,000.
Man, it must have been tough out there. You look like you worked hard.
Yeah, I did work hard. Everybody's working hard out here. The crew, the Apple Chevrolet Cars Dealers team, all the guys, they did a great job for me. We were not very good in the dash, but we came back in the feature and had a nice car, so we were pretty proud to be up here standing in victory lane against the World of Outlaws representing the Pennsylvania Posse.
The World of Outlaws make their annual New Jersey appearance. New Egypt Management has an amazing concept. Start the feature at 9 o'clock before the fans are asleep. All 3 annual midweek sprint shows, including 2 gap-filling modified races, have been checkered before 9:30. The result is the most enthusiastic crowd we see anywhere. It also didn't hurt to have a Jerseyite win the $10,000 30-lapper. Far Hill's P.J. Chesson, number 76, led every lap from the pole, crossing the line in front of Darren Pittman and consistent Tim Schaefer. After paying nearly $40 apiece at Ticketron, it's extra appreciated that the fans will have little problem getting up for work tomorrow.
PJ, one question for you. Does it get any sweeter? Hell no, man. This is so sweet. New Jersey's my state. They're my fans. We own this place, baby.
July 27th, rookie Scott Hess learns a lesson during Super Sportsman qualifying at Silver Spring. After sitting out last season, Halifax's John Stamen is back for just the 3rd time behind the wheel of the Black Trevco Mechanical number 1. Big John wires the field for his 3rd career Silver Spring win. Challenging here is 2nd place finisher Scott Snyder. Smokey Snellbaker 3rd. Twin 20s at Selinsgrove. 33 358 sprints are in the pits. 2nd generation racer Jen Yinger has an enchanting smile. Niall Burks will fall head over heels over the young blonde tonight. Quite literally, in the consolation race. Niall is okay, with the car surprisingly intact. Jake Rudabaugh 4 and Rick Hench go at it for 1st. Hench flattened the tire, but here comes popular Chad Layton in the U1. Jake slipped to 4th as Adrian Schaefer and Kyle Perks followed Layton at the finish. In the nightcap 20-lapper, T.J. Stutz 11 led for 13 laps before yielding to Layton and also Joe Whitcomb in the Blue 71, who has a pair of Selinsgrove wins this year. As a result of scoring the double tonight, Layton has 7 Selinsgrove wins on his season. Sunday, July 28th, the Super Sportsmen in all their beauty make their only Lincoln visit of the year, 36 strong. Skip Findlay wishes he had skipped this show. Dittos for Dave Berkheimer, although he did re-prepare this same car in time for the Consi. Feature time. Paul Troutman, 16, Leroy Martin, 66, and Dwayne Smith lead the field at the start.
Troutman with the lead, exiting turn 2. Dwayne Smith on the inside of Martin in the battle for 2nd. Smith into 2nd, Martin 3rd.
Lingostown Smith, number 7, is a brother to sprint car driver Mark Smith and on his way to his first career Super Sportsman win. Dave Newman would eventually move up to 2nd, with Martin finishing 3rd.
Well, Dwayne, we've seen you here in a couple different fashions, but finally you got here.
Yeah, I'm with a really good team. These guys, we destroyed a car last week at Silver Springs on Saturday night. We got it back Friday night and worked all weekend. We were trying to get done for last night, but we didn't make it. We actually loaded the car probably about 4:15 today, so it was a thrash to get here. And boy, did we need this.
Tuesday, July 30th, Mike Wagner, 55, takes first from Josh Wells as 19 sprints make their annual visit to Bedford for 30 laps around the historic Fairgrounds half mile. 2 laps later, Keith Kaufman stalls in lap traffic confusion on turn 4. The Middlesware 7 was running third, but will restart on the rear. But by lap 24, it'll be quite a comeback for the man from Mifflintown.
The inside, trying to look for room out of turn 4. Wagner holds the advantage. Kaufman working on the inside at turn number 1. Side-by-side battle. Keith Kaufman takes the lead out of turn 2. Kaufman from the rear of the field to the front.
Here's Keith with Bedford's latest promoters after crossing the finish over Fred Raymer, Todd Hester, and Wagner. August 2nd, Brooke Wibley's been fast, but has not yet found victory lane this year. Unusual for the York Springs veteran. The fastest of 28 sprints take the feature green at Williams Grove with Doug Ash, 30, off first, looking for his first ever Grove 410 win.
Doug Ash into the lead, car number 30. Wibley off the cushion at turn number 2 into second.
On lap 7, while running second, Wibley had a tire slip off the rim.
Green now.
Doug Ash is still hopeful, opening an advantage on the restart, but a bad break awaits him as well. Bob Beitelman jumps the cushion. And here comes our leader. It's Fred Raymer's first Grove win of the season, 8th on the circuit. Keith Kaufman finished second with Donnie Kreitz in show position. With a field of 55, the 358 sprinters are a full show in themselves. John Wagner gets over in this tangle with Ron Kramer. Keith Wetzel KOs a spinning Denny Garl. In the feature, we'll see Birdsboro's Mike Miller, 00, holding off Blaine Heimbach and Darren H.
Heimbach is all over the leader now. Heimbach ducks low and drives by Mike Miller off turn number 4. Heimbach nearly into the guardrail, can't hold the lead and uses second to Darren H.
After a red for J.R. Berry, Kutztown Micro champion Miller will enjoy his first 358 win.
Mike Miller charging against the cushion. Here comes Darren low side. Mike Miller off the corner first. He will win it. Darren H. second, Chad Layton third.
Mike, it's been a long time coming. We know you had a successful career in micros, but always been fast in this car at Williams Grove, but never to victory lane until tonight.
Oh, well, I had so many people that, I got to thank, from Donnie Kreitz getting me in a good car to Lance DeWeese. You hear it every time. Them guys in 410, they just help so many people. And, guys like it there, but my crew, you know what I mean? They stick behind me. And my daughters, my wife can't be here tonight. She took the night off, of course. But thanks to everyone. It means a lot.
Donuts when you go back. We want to see donuts. We want to see donuts.
On August 3rd, we enjoy another hot evening in the Pigeon Hills. 27 410 sprinters are in the Lincoln pits, too, somewhere. Doug Ash, 30 again, out-daring Jimmy McBee to become the first leader.
As they exit turn number 2, Doug Ash running second. Ash makes his move, pulls the slider in 3 and 4, and Doug Ash will lead lap number 1. 16 seconds. Running third.
Tonight's race is very similar to last night at the Grove, with one difference. When Doug crashes into a stalled lap car, it's not until the 26th, or cool-down lap. Doug's second Lincoln win comes over Chris H. and Billy Sims.
We lost one last night. Fred got by us. We got caught up in a lap car, and I didn't see the white flag, and I wasn't sure that it was a checker flag, and I come into the corner, and I'm like, hey, here we go again.
36 358 sprints will take to another good Lincoln surface. Keep your camera on the yellow car of Joe Ilg. When Corey Haas made it from 12th place starting spot to the front in just 5 laps, many conceded to number 11 a 4th straight win. Felton's Chad Trout, number 7, has his own ideas. Dan Dietrich will finish 3rd.
A battle for the top spot. Chad Trout
It's Chad's second win of the season. The second Friday in August begins the big weekend, and not everybody is headed west to Iowa. Professional wingless drivers are a courageous breed. Some say local drivers who take it off for one or two races may cross the line between brave and plain foolish. But we here at Lynn Schaefer Productions salute Bill Case Jr., Johnny Mackison, Pat Cooper, Todd Allen, Mike Wells, Rick Lafferty, Nicky Young, Bill Bryan, and Mike Hagenbottom, who can now say they've raced with what the SCRA claims as America's traditional race car. That's diversity-sensitive speak for real sprint car. Fan favorite during time trials will be Charles Davis Jr. SCRA regulars, many whom never driven straight ahead parallel to guardrails before in their career, found Williams Grove with its never-ending straightaways a bit unnerving. But there were few crashes. It's the biggest Knoxville weekend crowd here in 10 years. Sadly, it's the worst run show in a decade. SCRA time trials presented fans with 30 intermissions, one between each car, which helped drag the single-class show out till midnight. The field was broken into 4 small heat races on the big track. There were still plenty racing.
Second corner, 4 wide, J.J. Yaley into the third spot. Out, the green is out. Fourth and final heat is underway. Heidenreich takes the lead.
After getting turned over in a heat, Richard Griffin returned for a third-place feature finish. Like most all-national sanctions, the SCRA starts the fastest up front, but nonetheless, no car would be lapped the entire night.
J.J. Yaley takes the lead to start. Yaley takes the lead to start. Gardner trying to take over the second spot.
They who told us to watch 24-year-old Californian Damon Gardner, number 20, were right. While running third, Tony Jones brings out the only feature red.
Tony Jones upside down. Tony Jones, turn number 4 upside down.
The Demon leads 28 of the 30 laps for the $4,000 win over JJ and the Gas Man.
Congratulations, you looked awfully good. What do you think of this Williams Grove? Oh, you know, this place is fast, and we like the fast joints. You run up top, run upstairs. We like to run upstairs, and we like to run the bottom too. The bottom's not bad, but when you can run her up on the fence, it's not makes it pretty challenging. So what can I say? This is all you fans are great, and I'm glad to see we had a good turnout. That's one of the reasons we do it. We like to hear you guys cheer, so just want to thank you guys for that.
A moist track surface, a major event-sized crowd, and a normally well-run show helped the 3-race Central PA SCRA swing peak at Lincoln. The wingless regulars are in their element here on the short half-mile. 28 cars are pit side. If raw speed is your forte, save your money when the wings are off. But if you like to see drivers go wheel-to-wheel, well, here's a couple of laps of the second heat that say it all. Another well-kept secret in the East is that a competitive non-wing car can be campaigned for less than half of a winged 410. At 100 miles per hour, a wing just about doubles the weight of a sprint car, and the maintenance as well. Furthermore, $40,000 under the hood might just leave a wingless competitor spinning his tires to DNQ status. But while non-wingers are considered by advocates as the driver's race car, not all the bragging rights go to their camp. Again and again, good wing drivers have demonstrated the ability to quickly adapt and even defeat the wingless pros at their own game. Sammy Swindell has the most Chili Bowl wins. Notice Nicky Young holding his own against the best right here at Lincoln. Steve Kinzer was nearly undefeated in USAC competition during his infrequent appearances during the 80s. Rob Cheney's Attica win we chronicled here a while ago is another example of a list that goes on and on. A low point for locals, but Bill Case, Pat Cooper, and Mike Wells are all right. Feature time is heads up from the dash. Tony Elliott, number 39, gets the edge over Corey Kruzman, number 1.
Elliott, Kruzman, Johnny Mackison is in
The Cruiser's not so smooth, and Lincoln favorite Johnny Mackison, number 65, is second. This really gets the fans into it.
Cruzman pulls it back in after a hit on the wall. He's in fourth. Now it's Elliott and Mackison battling for the lead.
The Mack attack ends on lap 11. Johnny was battling Richard Griffin for second before an ill-fated experiment in the high group. At the same time as Mackison's flip, Lance Grimmett takes a ride in turn 1. New Mexico's Gas Man is a 3-time point champ, and he's showing why downstairs in a battle for first where no car-threatening slide jobs are necessary.
Elliott banging the curve. Griffin still on the bottom, 1 and 2. Cruzman third. Then the 87 of Tony Jones in fourth. Then the 5. Now
The Lincoln feature produced the first lap traffic in the competitive series, and there's one in front of our leaders on the final lap.
has to change his line. Griffin on the bottom. We have a race for the lead. Off the backstretch, one final time. Elliott, Griffin, race to the checkered off of turn 4. Governor Richard Griffin.
Cruzman finished third.
I'll tell you what, buddy. You can't get them any better than this, can you?
I don't think so. You know, I was having a great time out there, and Tony was racing me real clean. And, you know, the main thing is I hope these guys that came out to watch some non-wing racing got their money's worth tonight. And, you know, I had a heck of a time. But like I say, it was about 20 laps of side-by-side there. And, you know, it was nerve-wracking for me. But, you know, we were just lucky enough that lap traffic came into it, and we fell back a little when there were some guys on the bottom. And then, like I say, Tony got hung up a little there at the last couple laps. Like I say, can't say enough for him because he raced me nice and clean, and, you know, just a great race for the fans. And my whole crew, you know, these guys have been busting their butt and coming back here all the way to Pennsylvania to get a win. That's great for us. And Ron Shaven, my car owner, John Boy Race Cars, Shaver Engines, Hoosier Tires. You know, there's a whole ton of people that help us out with race car, and we've got to thank all those guys. But most of all, we've got to thank all those fans up there.
Grandview Thunder brings down the curtain on the brief series. Mike Hagenbottom brings down some billboards. Although fatalities have been all but eliminated in recent years, the violence of non-wing flips are the sport's dark side. Mike walks away, but we'll soon find out he has what's almost a tradition of wingless racers, a broken collarbone. Here's another look at the crash of the year. Odds-on favorite J.J. Yelly is already in front on the start.
Gentlemen, it's now main-event time. The moment of truth has arrived. It's time for Thunder on the Hill. Here they come. Green is go. Rocketing into the turn. J.J. Yelly grabbing the early lead as they angle out of turn number 2 and head down the back straightaway. Hot and heavy action into the turn. 4-car battle for second. Yelly leading lap number 1. Following him is Tony Elliott in the number 39. Side by side, Richard Griffin on the inside. Whoa! Griffin catches the infield firm and spins out, and we got a couple of cars.
Things soon get even worse for the gas man. Up front, Grandview specialist Billy Pouch, 55, from Frenchtown, New Jersey, is putting on the show after starting 6th.
As Billy Pouch puts the pressure on J.J. Yelly down to the bottom. 10 down, 1/3 of the way. Yelly and Pouch. Then Rutherford and Cruzman into the corner. Levi Jones in 5th. Billy the Kid side by side with J.J. Yelly. Wheeling and dealing down the back straightaway. Side by side. Pouch on the inside and Yelly on the outside. Holds him off. J.J. Yelly going sideways on the straightaway to block off Billy the Kid. Now dropping to the bottom groove. Pouch up on the berm with the left front, trying to find the infield groove down the back straightaway. Yelly and Pouch battling for position. Here comes the Kid off the corner. Billy the Kid and J.J. Yelly into the turn. Pouch now the new leader. Billy Pouch grabbing the lead from J.J. Yelly.
Well, I was here about 2 weeks ago, lost the modified race slipping off the bottom, so I figured slow and easy around the bottom, jump over the tires there as best we could and hang on, and it was just so slick there. Earlier there was a top groove you could pass first couple laps to get where you needed to be. but you had to do it pretty quick, and once you got there, it was play turtle on the bottom.
The Sunday night crowd was a little light here at Grandview, but with SCRA time trials and a full URC show on tap, working fans were again forced to think twice. The final checkered fell at 11:30. Jason Hagenbuck has a thing going with Becca Anderson. Kevin Welch will be back to qualify. 36 URC wingers put on a good show. Judy Bates continues her Grandview front stretch problems from last month.
To go.
An infamous 5-car C main also included the professional roofer from Spring City.
We got one upside down on the front straightaway here. Red is on. And Emery grabs the lead down the back straightaway. Battle for the number 1 spot. Jeremy Trout right there off the corner. Emery and Trout.
New York's Doug Emery would wire the field with his first career URC win coming over Bill Bryan and Kurt Michael. But its eventual 5th-place finisher, Jeremy Trout, number 25, giving the number 33 its biggest challenge early in the 25-lap main.
Trout high, Emery low, then Billy Bryan, then Dave Ely.
I was watching the other show, and the pouch looked really good on the bottom. I figured if we held it there, we could come away with a win, and we did.
Life on the road and hotel parking lots feature more and more 360 sprinters. New York's Mike Woodring is among 50 invited from 7 different clubs to Knoxville, Iowa's Tournament of Champions. NSCA's Jake Peters loses it in front of Woodring and Knoxville's Joe Beaver. Knoxville regular Josh Higday leads the whole way for the $4,000 win over Travis Rylett and Clint Garner. Doug Wilson's flip begins our look at what many consider the best Knoxville Nationals ever because of the near-perfect track conditions all week. The hardest crash of the week left Tim St. Arnold in yaw-yaw land, but he's okay. Ty Bartz fillets his wing. Lots of inverting and passing all week, but of course the 30-lap National itself must be started heads up. Steve Kinzer, number 11, may have won his 12th edition of the biggest prize in sprint car racing, leading every lap from the front row. But thanks to Danny Lazowski, he did not lead every foot. The dude is still hurting from his Williams Grove crash and tired to 4th at the finish, as Steve reigns once again over Donnie Schatz and Craig Delansky. The win is worth $125,000. After Knoxville, Mr. Camera heads to Butler Battleground Speedway in Michigan. Bob Dooley takes a wild flip. Jared Hall held down the lead until blowing up on the last lap, allowing our old friend Danny Smith another of his many wins.
We put hard tires on, thinking it would lay some rubber down. It didn't, so we just kind of cruising along there, hoping we could get second. And then he had his problem, and I know how he feels. I've been racing 29 years now, and I've had that happen to me many a times. But he's a good hard racer. He'll get another one probably next week.
August 14th, still on the road, 5 Mile Point, New York presents the second annual Southern Tier Showdown for 360 sprints. Spider Thomas, John Smith, and Warren Alexson are upside down on the first lap. The 21 of R.C. Fagel gives up the lead and then some to the 56 of 19-year-old Jeff Van Dusen, who races out of Otsego, New York. R.C. will be credited with a 16th place finish. Van Dusen's second career feature win over George Suprick and Kramer Williamson is worth $1,000. August 16th. With 24 410s at Williams Grove, Doug Ash, 30, leads the feature over the 88 of Fred Raymer.
Raymer tries the inside now. Raymer slides up in front of Hagenbuck. Doug Ash tries to slide back in front of Raymer and gets him. Ash pushes Raymer back out of the groove.
Dave Healy will concentrate on his 360 program for the balance of the season. The restart. Shawn Michael is over the rail, and Mark Smith is over on the track. Both are out for the night. Lap 21. Fast Freddy will try again. Lance DeWeese will follow the pair across the finish.
Raymer slides up in front of Doug Ash in turn number 4, makes the pass. We've got a new leader.
A little bit of contact down there off, too. Doug didn't want to give up the lead.
I don't think he gets paid to let somebody drive by him, but we got by him anyway. He didn't do nothing I wouldn't do.
45 3:58 sprints are whittled down to the fastest 24, and here they come. Billy John stalls, and Nate Snyder has nowhere to go. Chad Trout in red leads on the restart, but Sean Big Block Weaver has the ride in the white 7, and look at him go. Big Block's good small block run ends when he breaks off turn 2. Contact also sent Trout in for a pit stop. Adrian Schaefer, 21, then led Corey Haas, 11, and Chad Layton across the finish.
Can't pull it off. Adrian Schaefer will win. Haas second, Layton third.
Steve Siegel is in for quite a night among 24 410 sprinters at Lincoln, August 17th. After tipping over in a heat race, the new Oxforder made repairs just in time to tag the Consi. He will wish he hadn't, as one of the quick fixes fails to hold.
Problems on the backstretch, and he rolls onto his side.
Doug Ash 30 leads the feature, but might be dreading the infamous Lincoln lap traffic. Watch Ash on the inside of Danny Murray. After contact on the front stretch, the pair meet again in turn 1, as Doug rides the wall to a 21st place finish. Chris Ace in white takes first from the black 17 of Nicky Young on the 15th lap. The last lap. Ace leads, but backs off for a tangle. Mark Cauldron is caught by surprise as we have fireworks in turn 3. Fast Freddie Raymer, 88, leads Lance DeWeese and Chris Knopp through the final lap restart. 24 ARDC Midgets visit Lincoln for their annual Wingless Spectacular. Doug Craig will not start the feature.
He's going to go after Kobilar's problems up in turn number 4.
Brian Kobilar's number 49 takes the lead from Mark Freeland, number 4. When wingless racing meets points handicapping, there's so much lead changing and side-by-side racing for first, we don't know how to cut it. It's an editing room nightmare, but what a show for the fans. Steve Buckwalter in the white 25 is the third leader in the first 3 laps. Fred Schell, Ed Steinley 6, and Ray Boole 1 all join in search for the sweet spots.
3 leaders in 3 laps. 6 cars race for the lead. Fred Schell now on the inside.
McVaytown's Ed Steinley takes first from Buckwalter.
He's up in the cushion, Boole to the middle of the racetrack. Steinley to the low side. We got a new race leader. Ed Steinley into the top spot.
Ray Boole moves in between Ed and Stevie, banging off the walls in the process. But the Boole butts the wall hard in turn 2.
Ray Boole into the outside wall, and he's going to roll several times.
As Ray's head clears, the lead race duo exchange the favored position several more times.
Steinley lets him go, drives back under, but cannot catch him. And Steve Buckwalter has reclaimed the lead. Steinley now on the top side is going to try to get it back. He does off turn 4. Buckwalter to the inside. He'll pull the slider again. Steinley will let him go. Pull alongside down the backstretch.
The race of the year offers the fans 4 different leaders and 13 lead changes in 20 laps, and none of them were the result of crashes into lap traffic.
He drives down underneath them. They're wheel to wheel in the turns. Steinley slides in front of Buckwalter. Off turn 4, Steinley by half a car length. Buckwalter again slides up. This time driving around him is Steinley. Buckwalter reclaims the lead. Steinley's got it back. Through the turn, Steinley and Buckwalter.
It's McVaytown Steinley over Buckwalter and Mark Freeland at the finish.
Steve was pulling the sliders on you. It was a little tricky in turn 2. You had to be careful up there.
Yeah, he was coming up. He was giving me plenty of time, letting him know he was coming. And if I'd have finished second, I'd have complained about him, but not winning.
On the Super Sportsman circuit, the story of the week is rookie Kevin Nouse, who dumped his 21 hard, hurting his back at Silver Springs 6 days before taking first from Denny Wiley as the Sportsmen make a Friday night appearance at Susquehanna. The past micro star, back brace and all, goes on for his first career sportsman win over Wiley and Skip Findlay. That's only half the story, as Kevin repeats Saturday at Silver Spring. The Woo Gummy Bears are back at Williams Grove on August 23rd.
Schaefer down low, Dewey's third. Problem,
Craig Keel is okay, but Todd Schaefer's broken kneecap curtails his season. Todd flipped over Fred Raymer, who had his front end break. Jimmy McBee and Mike Eardley feel the full moon. Tyler Walker, 35, is leading off the pole, as Greg Hodnett, 12, takes second from the 69 of Donnie Kreitz, which turns out to be the winning move.
And now Hodnett gets alongside Kreitz heading down the backstretch. Takes Kreitz's lane away. Greg Hodnett has taken second. Walker with a problem in the 35. Yellow is out.
The finish is Hodnett over Lance DeWeese and Chris Aish. Ron Paulus is among a half dozen cars the Gum Out Series brings to Port Royal August 24th for a pit total of 30. Earlier in the season, the Woo 2 feature was rained out and rescheduled for Thursday night. Again, rain threatened. Instead of running the makeup feature first, Woo 2 ran more time trials. Then the crews took a half hour to switch to their feature setups. The rain hit, forcing fans to come back a third time on a second ticket to see one feature. Shawn Michael and Brian Paulus also have their complaints. Tyler Walker, 35, the fastest car, leads from the pole. Greg Hodnett in a rare for this year Apple turnover. Tyler has more problems, but will return from the rear for a second-place finish behind the 77 of Lance DeWeese. Keith Kaufman was third. In their final salute to the fans, Woo 2 officials strongly warned their drivers against competing tonight in Port's regular unsanctioned show. It's great to see Kyle Gano back on the track. Mike Walters takes a spill. Back from his flip, Greg Hodnett, 12, fights off this challenge from Lance DeWeese for the $3,000 Summer Championship win. DeWeese wound up pitting, allowing Keith Kaufman to finish second with the lone gummy bear competing, Jason Sides, third. Most seasons offer one example of Fred Raymer's Lincoln mortality. The annual botch slide job for the lead victim this year is luckless Doug Esch. Fast Freddy's 121st Lincoln win comes over Chris Aish and Glendon Forsythe. Sean Keane is among 34 entrants for Williams Grove Triple 20s on August 30th. In the first, time trial start Fred Raymer on the pole. Chris Aish and Shawn Michael followed Fast Freddy at the finish. In the second 20, Brooke Webley, 32, had his lead pass of Todd Hester negated by Sean Keane, who had his steering brake. Having started 10th, Fast Freddy is up to second on the restart.
Raymer drives through the middle, slides to the outside, challenges Todd Hester. Fred Raymer all over Hester now as they get to turn number one. Raymer tries the inside and drives by Hester. Fast Freddy has taken the lead. Hester tries to come back in turn three. Raymer slams the door.
This time, Greg Hodnett and Hester follow the Haars 88 across the finish. The final 20-lapper pays $5,000 to win. Todd Hester, 7, again leads, but here comes Shawn Michael, number 1.
Shawn Michael ducks to the low side of Hester and drives up in front of him this time. Shawn Michael takes the lead. Hester trying to get it back in 3, but Michael slams the door.
Jimmy McBee brings out the evening's second and final red. Lap 9, Lance DeWeese, 77's first Grove win since May, will be his 54th career.
Shawn Michael threads the needle through lap traffic. DeWeese is right on his rear bumper. As they charge into turn number 3, DeWeese to the low side, racing for the lead.
Greg Hodnett will finish second with Chris Aish third. Michael dropped out and Raymer finished fourth. Because of the higher payout in the final feature, DeWeese took home the most cash, some $6,500. It's August 31st, and 31-410 unmuffled sprints are at Lincoln for the time trial-free Bobby Abel Memorial. Kevin Drury will have a short night, but not as brief as Marshall Weitzel, who gets crashed out during a heat race. 3:58 graduate Drury leaves his mark on the second lap of the feature. Port Royal is dark tonight. And up front, Keith Kaufman, number 7, is holding off Greg Hodnett, number 12. Lap 9, a Mike Markey spin settles the issue in favor of the Red Rocket. Hodnett's win over Fred Raymer and Lance DeWeese includes lap money and totals $3,670. The 358 sprints are part of the big show tonight here in the Pigeon Hills. The 32-car field is whittled down as Marylanders Woody Linton and then Joey Palmerino get into a hard one during the Consi. Daring Dan Dietrich. This division is very evenly matched right now with many potential winners, including Danny Warwick, number 56, leading mid-race over Scott Osherman, number 39. Scotty rethinks a slide job, and Alan Crimes, number 87, takes advantage of the hesitation to move up to second. The last turn of the last lap. Crimes will enjoy his first career win. Osherman held on for third.
Well, Alan, we congratulate you. It was a great race, great show for the fans. Heartbreak for Danny Warwick, but congratulations.
All right, thank you. Like I said, thanks for all the fans coming out, and Danny will get his.
Well, I was talking with our starter down here and said that it's been a long time since a Crimes was in victory lane. I guess your dad used to run a couple around here.
Yeah, he ran here with the big boys a while back, and I think he won 3 feature wins in 1979, the year I was born. So we got the same number on the car, so hopefully I can top his 3.
Old England may be tonier, New Yorkers more refined. Chicago perhaps is windier, and Boston has more mind. But when you come to think of it, I'll tell you on the square that only heaven compares at all with our Juniata County Fair.
More important than Knoxville, it's bigger than Daytona. It's got more glamour and tradition than Indy. The Labor Day Classic at Port Royal. With 32 sprints on the hill, point champ Keith Kaufman drew the pole, giving conspiratists plenty of fodder. The man from Mifflintown saw a large lead shrink to nothing as the Middlesworth number 7's engine sours. Lenny Thompson, enjoying a good ride in the Tangereau 7, finished a closing second over a show position duel between Donnie Kreitz and Greg Hodnett. Surprisingly, it's Keith's first ever quality time with the Dairy Princess. After loading up on more fair food, everyone's down Route 35 to Selinsgrove. Evendale's Rod Stroup is among the pit of 31. That's what you get for not running the Classic at Port today, Rod. Greg Hodnett, number 12, drew the pole for the feature on an excellent track surface. Mark Smith finished second, with Fred Raymer third. 36 super sportsmen make their annual Selinsgrove appearance. Good old points handicapping gives us our only feature pass for the lead on this long Labor Day. Mark Zimmerman, 318, leads the first half of the 20-lapper until the red and white number 23 of Jerseyite Steve Cannon makes the winning pass into turn 3. Zimmerman soon slowed, and Joe Weniker bested Dave Callman for second.
Hey, what about that pass for the lead? You had to get by Mark Zimmerman over there in the third turn.
Yeah, he was giving us a little brake check there on the restarts there and that, so I knew I just had to try to get a little run on him going into one and just held it to the floor, and when we got a run on the outside of him.
And hold it to the floor is what the stock car drivers do as we salute the fendered side of the racing fraternity.
coming together with the 71. Oh, we got a terrible wreck here in the front. The rear axle flying off of the car.
It can only happen in America. Here we go, across the nation, thanks to contributors Candy Baker, Vicki Harker, Brian Thompson, Mark Douglas, Scott Beyer, and Mike Harker, who now with his own camera serves as Midwest coordinator and has the credentials to prove it. We begin at the Tulsa Expo and the STP shootout for micro sprints, and micro midgets, and turf midgets, and mini sprints. Hundreds of competitors in all. Joey Montgomery, Tyler Robbins. It's the best New Year's celebration possible for motorheads. Entrants are here from across the nation. Of course, the shootout is just a warm-up for the next week, when the mammoth Tulsa, Oklahoma Expo Center presents the biggest midget race and #1 indoor show anywhere, the Chili Bowl. Once again, our crew breaks through the credential mania to bring in-your-face coverage. With script help, thanks to Candy Baker and Kevin Harker, here we go. Craig Carey gets sideways before being hit by a team car driven by Fireball Hartley. Nick Lundgren is helped into the wall by Jonathan Allard. Travis Wellpot after catching a wheel. Phil Chappelle turns too soon and finds the third turn berm annoying. John Foster enters way too high and hits the third turn wall. Johnny Miller slaps the front straight wall. Bud Kading. Doug Roseski hooks the berm in hot laps. John Foster presents his second spill of the evening. Danny Eberts flips in a turn 1 pileup. Cole Carter launches over Jonathan Allard. Todd Jackson clips a tangle during hot laps. Greg Nelson during the D main. Ronnie Day is next in the C. Matthew Neely is the B main victim. We complete a trend with Shane Hollingsworth in the A. Johnny Murdoch launches over the berm. Murdoch tries the outside. Look to the right as Bobby East threatens the Expo ceiling. Sammy Swindell, #1, dumps the purple car of Jack Hewitt. Moments later, Mike Leslie jumps the cushion, and there goes Billy Pouch. And back further in the same multi-car tangle, Swindell dumps Hewitt again. Winding up the Chili Bowl, Chris Pearl after contact with Mike Hess. Micros at St. Francis County Speedway in Farmington, Missouri. Keith Steele. Paul Thompson. A consistent Paul Thompson. Mark Maurer hits the cushion. Brian Steele after getting together with another car. Tad Allen Roach lost a wheel before hitting the wall. Brandon Schneider loses control trying to avoid the crash. Gary Altig after getting over the wheel of another car. Jacksonville, Illinois. Mike Russell flips on the start of the feature. Corey Wyant in green drills racerette Tessa Wizard in turn 1. Doe Run, Missouri. Bobby Larson finds a spinning car in his path. 67 Raceway Park, Illinois. Cody Sunley flips on the start of the feature. Full midgets at Tri-City in Granite City, Illinois. Ron Gregory slaps the first turn rail. Steve Knepper spins and Teddy Beach flips. Mike Hess drills Beach, refusing treatment after a nap. One of the few places the midgets still get their deserved respect is at Angel Park, Wisconsin. Al Cole flips in front of the full house. Brandon Walty also has turn 1 problems as others pile in. Aaron Pierce hooks the third turn cushion at Kokomo, Indiana. Jerry Coons was leading the feature at Bloomington. St. Francis, Mike Hess flips after hitting Joey Montgomery. Craig Carey, Dave Camfield, and Kenny Brown. Jacksonville, David Gall drives over the inside tires. Davey Ray rolls, and here comes Donnie Lehman. Terre Haute, Indiana. Ryan Scott during the Hut 100. Tom Hessert also finds the rail on the big half mile. Cole Carter gets up on a tire and flips, and flips, and flips. Ryan Tyler also heads over the fence after finding his throttle stuck in the hammer down mode. Our original Midwest paparazzi, Brian Thompson, ups his credentials with promotionship at Belle Claire Fairgrounds in Bellevue, Illinois. Apparently separated at birth from PA sprint car driver Bob Beitelman, don't let Ryan go until you hear his Keith Kaufman imitation. Getting the show over is the key, says the first-year success story. Watch for a special show on the 3rd mile of dirt next October. Giving Brian his first gray hairs are the crashing micros of Derek Myers and Tad Allen Roach, plus the full midgets of Jerry Zeich. Jeff Parga. And finally, Tim Siner and Greg Luker. Wing sprints on the bull ring at St. Francis County Speedway in Farmington, Missouri. Casey Barnhouse and Gary Phillips flip in front of the crowd on a well-run oval. J.C. Freeman flips into turn 3 during hot laps. Brian Matthews hits the front stretch wall during the weekly 410 competition. Mike Russell slams the wall. Casey Barnhouse drives over a car before Steve Short piles in. Robbie Neubauer does a classic off-the-wall number. Jeremy Standridge gets over the front of Steve Zelch. Keith Birch, 24, gets together with Terry Babb. The tacky turn gets the best of Steve Zelch. Chris Yorick rips down some fence. Ted Adams hits the wall during the trophy dash. Jay Lando flips into the infield. Matt Rogerson drives through Timmy Moss as we visit the Action Jacksonville, Illinois Speedway. Lance Gulo spins and Jason Johnson endos down the backstretch. Ryan Jamison sends Laurel Cannell for a tumble. Babes Ruland. Jay Landolt again after getting sideways. Brad Martin hits the first turn wall. Chris Yorick again flipping as we leave Jacksonville. Chris Yorick flips at Godfrey's 67 Speedway in Illinois. SCRA at 67 Speedway. Damian Gardner gets over J.J. Yaley. Bobby Cody on the front stretch. Gas City, Indiana. Kent Christensen flips in the weekly wingless action. Ed Hassler has a hassle. Corey Smith gets over a tire. John Wolf dumps it above the rail. Jerry Miller crashes hard after being drove by Hud Cone at Lincoln Park, Indiana. Kevin Chambers launches off turn 4 as we switch to Bloomington, Indiana. Chris Kopczynski rides over a wheel. Jimmy Laser hooks an infield tire marker. Shane Hollingsworth powers into a hard one before reaching the green flag at Kokomo, Indiana. Blake Fee's number 12 during USAC sprints at Route 66 Speedway, Illinois. Joey Montgomery slides into Donnie Gentry as we're back at St. Francis. Terre Haute, Chris Kopczynski hits the rail. Troy Lowry clears the rail. Kenny Lacey clips a stalled Derek Davidson. Craig Dory during the semi. A double USAC flip leaves little damage. Tracy Hines in turn 4 after a bump from behind. Jimmy Parsons leaves one lap early. Paris, California is the home of SCRA, and this ride by Gary Howard. John Stanbro, number 2, in a California Classic. Andy Frostberg. Tracy Hines suffers a broken leg and minor burns. Danny Sheridan will feel stiff tomorrow. Kyle Wismiller gets airborne before Danny Hotzclaw flips as we're back at Jacksonville. Folk hero Jack Hewitt is the nicest guy you'll ever meet, but when crossed, he's known to speak his mind. Legendary Jack may hold the record number of near-death experiences. His latest glimpse of the bright white light occurred midsummer at Twin City. Thanks in part to the prayers of thousands, we look for Jack to be back racing next season. Bill Rose slams Jimmy Laser and both head for the wall. Tri-State, Indiana. Sean Walden takes the wing off for the first time and calls it a night in hot laps. Alex Shanks over a tire. Todd Chandler does a complete on the highly acclaimed track surface here at Tri-State Speedway near Hobstadt. Matt Westfall will make repairs and run the semi. Tim Spindler flips after riding over Todd Chandler. Danny Hotzclaw spins in front of Rockin' Rodney Stone. Make that Rolling Stone. A.J. Anderson tries to make it 3 wide. He will make repairs and win the semi. A.J. Anderson again, this time in his USAC Silver Crown dirt car on the mile in Springfield, Illinois. Kyle Steffen flips his dirt car at Terre Haute after contact with Russ Gamester. Eddie Carpenter jumps the third turn cushion on the Indy Mile. We end this segment with time trial spills by Kurt Gross, Corey Kruzman, Mitch Wismiller, Mike Mosey, and Michael Lewis. Eastern contributor Big Jim Murdoch may not have gotten far with Miss New Egypt, but he does get to bar Vermont's Thunder Road every Thursday night.
Fisher driving it deep into the corner. Oh, come on! Yellow flag. Caution on the speedway, the 81. Brett Wheeler.
Oh, Lordy, this could get ugly. The winner. Oh, no, they dumped her. Oh, my heart. Oh, no. Holy cow. Oh, my Lord, can you believe it? Oh, no, 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 no. Oh. Wide into turn 3. Hang on, Nelly. Here they come off 4. Get into the wall. Look out. Delphia's upside down. Snap, roll, leg beater into turn 1. Not only is he okay, he is PO'd. Give him a round of applause. Brian Delphia's hot. Oh, into the wall. Bob Weber, Pete Parkman, water up on 2 wheels. Oh, there he goes, up on the door. Oh, look out, Timmy Martin, Donnie off the top of the height. Oh, no. Oh, no. Holy cannoli, they're upside down. Harry Winch also in trouble. Oh, into the wall, we went upside down. Trevor Lyman in the 40 red flag.
When I am not making 750-mile round trips to Thunder Road, I do sometimes film races locally. Hello, this is Big Jim, and here we are at the East Windsor Speedway for one of their popular Run What You Brung shows. Billy Pouch and his Ring Modified gets passed by Kenny Blightbill, the 2002 track champion, in the year that saw more races get rained out on cloudless starlit nights than ever before. Tim Tanner Jr. gets his cage and ring rattled in this hard one down the front stretch. The folks down at Bridgeport Speedway seem to have the right idea for a full night's worth of excitement. Run the microsprints on the quarter mile and the stock cars on the big spacious 5/8 mile, all in one night for less than the price of a movie ticket. The annual Bowie Hill Nationals for limited sprints at Black Rock Speedway in the Finger Lakes region of New York attracted over 50 entries this year and produced some wild action as well. Of course, my favorite track to shoot at is New Egypt Speedway. The 1/2 mile tri-oval boasts the largest car counts of modified type race cars in the Northeast on any given Saturday night. Tad Cox gets helped into an endo in the heat race. The fourth turn Dirt Monster claimed several victims this year, including John Packenham and Doug Woolston. Both cars were able to continue in the heat races. Phil McLaughlin launches his Sportsman Racer down the backstretch tri-oval. Look for Super Sportsman races at New Egypt in 2003, and with action like this, I can't wait. Bring on the Super Sportsman. Mini sprints at Utica Rome Speedway on Labor Day weekend provided perhaps the scariest looking crash of the year in all of upstate New York racing. No injuries to flagman or driver.
Port Royal, September 6th. Greg Hudden at 12 comes from 11th starting spot to take first from the 69 of Donnie Kreitz in the first of the two-day Tuscarora 50 weekend. Greg posted his second win of the season here on a disappointing dry, slick surface. Lance DeWeese also moved past Kreitz into second. 33 cars will be on hand Saturday night. Despite the slick track, which is not Port Royal's gutsy style, the race would be quite interesting.
The Tuscarora 50 2002 35th annual set to get underway. We await the green flag on the backstretch. The field will break for 25 laps, then a break, and then the final 25. The Tuscarora 50 is underway. Fred Raymer Off the pole, Lance Deweese on the outside. Here comes Shawn Michael on the inside. Deweese going to try to stuff his car in between the leaders. Shawn Michael leads the pack. Todd Hester makes a move by Donnie Kreitz. Hester up to 4th. Battling for the 35th Tuscarora 50. Raymer to the bottom. Fred Raymer takes the spot. Fred Raymer will lead lap number 11. Now he slides out of the groove. Michaels will lead lap number 10. Michaels the leader. Lost the lead. Regained it. Leads lap number 11. Now Raymer again on the inside. Raymer retakes the spot. Deweese playing it conservative, as does Hester and Michaels and Kreitz, all conservative, staying on the bottom. Nobody trying the top. Back to the flag, completing lap number 28. Deweese wedges off the bottom. Lance Deweese will lead lap number 28. Deweese got a nose underneath Fred Raymer and has taken the lead with 22 laps to go.
Meanwhile, back in the pack, most of the racers just followed each other on the bottom until late in the race, when apparently they got a little bored. This set up a series of tangles as several drivers decided to try and bust a move. The worst was on a 40th lap restart. Len Thompson and Mark Smith flipped in the pileup. After this one, the drivers got back in line and finished the event. Shawn Michael followed Lance Deweese and Fred Raymer across the finish.
Well, Lance, we want to wish you the best of luck. Congratulations tonight.
Well, thanks again, Tommy. And I tell you what, I'd like to thank the track officials and you especially, because a lot of people wrote this place off, and we've been running Lincoln because of sponsorship commitments. But you guys done a good job since the changes, and the crowd's here tonight. And I just like to thank everybody that put their effort in forward to try and make this place back on top.
Over at Lincoln, 45 358 sprints compete in their season-ending championship. Time trials push the show back to finish at 1 a.m. Chad Trout goes to the pits the hard way. Great racing. Adrian Schaefer, 21, and Dan Dietrich, 8, battle for first. Give the nod to Adrian. Here comes point champ Corey Haas in the black number 11. Corey takes first on the 18th lap, capping a great season for the York PB Trust car. Adrian would soon fall out of the race, so it's Haas over Dietrich and Eric Stamball. Friday the 13th will be bad luck for Rusty Presley and Scotty Osherman, as 50 358s compete in their 25-lap time trial-free Williams Grove Championship. Rusty gets into the rail and Scotty gets into Rusty. Rick Hentz got over a wheel before the start of his heat race. Gary Gullub, 51, leads the feature, but Blaine Heimbach wants to change that.
Heimbach tries the low side and takes the lead. Can't hold it, loops the number 12.
Chad Layton is now up to second after starting 11th on the second 12th lap restart.
Layton slides up in front of Gullub. Gullub out of shape. Adrian Schaefer moving in. Layton's got the lead. Schaefer running a low side. Schaefer good on the bottom. Drives by Gullub. 12 down. Schaefer running low. Layton high. Chad leads it.
Just over 2 laps to go now.
Adrian Schaefer ducks low. Drives by Layton in 4. Adrian Schaefer has taken the lead. Inside of turn number 1. Tries to slide. Schaefer does. Adrian comes back on the backstretch. Has the lead back going into 3. Layton low in 3 and 4. are side by side off 4. White flag is out for Adrian Schaefer. Leighton low in 1 and 2. Slides in front of Schaefer, can't hold.
In the finish of the year, Leighton sews up the point championship with this squeaker over Schaefer. Jake Rotteball finished third. The 410 sprint battle for first will include Rick Lafferty and Chris Knopp, with the 88 of Fred Raymer arriving on the scene.
Knopp slides up in front of Lafferty, can't hold the spot. Lafferty drops back by again. Meanwhile, Greg Hodnett on the move once again along with Shawn Michael. Knopp leads the lap. Lafferty drives low in 1 and 2. Raymer working off the outside cushion into second. Raymer has taken second. He's after Knopp hard at turn number 3. Raymer to the low side, slides up in front of Knopp. Knopp turns the car but can't go back by Raymer. Fast Freddy leads lap 5.
Fast Freddy goes on to exchange slide jobs with second place finisher Greg Hodnett, 12. Lance DeWeese moved up to third at the finish. It's Raymer's 52nd career Grove win.
Well, all you did was beat the Red Rocket tonight. That's no easy accomplishment, is it?
No, I was pretty happy when I seen, I don't know who was second there for a long time. I said, that's okay, that's okay. I seen the 12. I thought, oh, shit, I better get my ass moving.
The 28th Annual Sportsman's Century Grind will pay $6,000. Time trials for 61 cars, a 100-lap feature, street stocks, and, oh yeah, a wedding. This could be a long night, even for the quickly run Silver Spring. Frankie Hearn, number 3, takes first from Smokey Snowbaker, number 32, on lap 35. But by halfway, 6th place starter Myerstown's 37-year-old Dave Newman is causing the point champ to feel that two's a crowd.
Don't count Frankie out yet, though.
Newman's first 100 win is his 4th victory of the season, giving him the most feature wins here. Jim Shuttlesworth made a late race move past her for second. September 14th, Selinsgrove's best year ever climaxes with a National Open double. The 358s are 30 strong. Buckle in tight, Brian Powell. Wayne Heimbach against the rail. Powell's direct approach is more expensive. Small block, big block Weaver had nowhere to go. Adrian Schaefer wires the 25 laps over Donnie Beaver. Under heavy on-mic pressure from the race director, point champ Chad Layton took the chip challenge, starting last and finishing third. But Adrian gets the girls tonight. 26 410 sprints lined up by time trials, with frequent fast time setter Shawn Michael, number 1, leading Lance DeWeese off the front row. Interesting again was heavy pressure in front of the crowd by Steve Inch, getting Greg Hodnett to take the start last challenge. The Apple Rocket moved up to finish 4th. On lap 12 of 30, DeWeese, 77, powers by Michael for his first Selinsgrove National win. It's worth $4,000. Michael finished second over Keith Kaufman. Here's this year's season finale dominator with his car owner and announcer Steve Inch.
I just like to thank the crew. They work hard at this deal all the time, and we never give up and work hard at it. And this guy standing next to me, they talk about the pressure he puts on nobody. He don't put no pressure on nobody. I put more pressure on myself than anybody possibly could. And he gives me the best equipment. It's just up to me and the crew to get the job done. And I'm happy to win it for him, but I'm more happy to win it for my first one.
Lynn Thompson, 07, leads the feature, barely, over Chris Ace, 17, at Williams Grove.
Thompson off the cushion. We have reached the halfway point. They are side by side for the lead. Thompson again around the top, maintains his lead down the backstretch. Chris Ace won't go away, however. Ace has his lane taken away, but slides to the outside. Thompson tries the low line. 14 down. Book looks over the field, drops the green flag right now.
A lap 20 restart. Donnie Kreitz will finish third.
Thompson goes low. Chris Aish around the outside and into the lead. We've got a new leader on the backstretch. Chris Aish in the 17E.
Were you surprised that he gave you the top on that restart, or did you expect him to take your lane away on the inside?
Well, I kept poking my nose down underneath of him, and I figured he thought I was going to the bottom. I couldn't get in quite as good as he could, but I could drive off a lot better, and I was sneaking my nose up in there, and I figured maybe he'd go to the bottom like that, and that was the first I actually even went on the cushion. Car felt pretty good on the cushion.
The Super Sportsmen are at the Grove tonight, and it's not raining for a change. Dane Hirsch is the evening's only rollover. Rookie Paul Miller, 58, leads, but here comes Pat Cannon, number 5, hiking the right front.
Again, Cannon makes a bid through the middle in turn number 1. Again, Miller pulls away on the backstretch. Cannon makes a strong bid in turn number 4 this time. Cannon side by side with Miller coming off 4. Cannon will lead the lap. Pat Cannon has taken the lead on lap number 11. Can he hold it off the second corner this time? Miller coming back.
Cannon's second win of the season and second career Grove win comes over Miller and Tour champ Frankie Hurt.
Good race tonight with the 58 car. I guess you had to be wondering if you're ever going to get him.
Yeah, I didn't know. I tried the top right in the beginning, and it seemed the slide line seemed to get away. So I kept following, ducking him down bottom there, and I just wasn't making it there. And we took a little gear out, and I needed to keep it wound up. So I decided, well, we're going to have to try to make a move here. So we put it on top, and it just seemed to hook up pretty good. So
the next night at Silver Spring, Ben Salem's Ken Carberry in the Mean Green 47 is the class of the 57-car field. Taking first from Charlie Sorokach 07 on the 18th lap. It's Ken's second spring win of the season.
What a smooth running car on the bottom. That was beautiful.
Yeah, it was, when we built this car, we were trying to make it so I could run the bottom, because with the other car, I just always got stuck running the top, and we knew you're not going to win just running the top, so we've been working on it, we actually sacrificed quite a few races messing with it, trying to get it to work better on the bottom, and tonight there's still moisture on the bottom. When it's totally dead slick, I don't know what we'd have, but we just got to keep working at it,
The Williams Grove National Open, offering some $30,000 to win. World of Outlaw sanction, a heads-up start from time trials and dashes left Lance DeWeese, 77, in a hopeless 13th starting spot. It's Lance's third Grove National win.
DeWeese is taking third. Lance DeWeese coming after Craig Delansky now. DeWeese ducks low in turn number 1. Delansky on the outside. DeWeese has found some bite on the bottom. DeWeese is up to second. Lance DeWeese is taking second. Lasowski's got a big lead. Only 9 laps remain. Ducks to the low side. DeWeese drives through the middle. Gets to the outside of Lasowski on the backstretch. DeWeese drives around the 20 car, takes the lead. Lance DeWeese.
Pole sitter Danny Lasowski settled for second with Joey Saldana third.
We totally guessed on the setup. We had if anybody heard there in that last race, our motor when it's cold, it won't take off. Has been doing it all night, did in the heat race, did in the dash, and we really didn't know how good our car actually was at all. So we just made some lucky guesses, and I tell you what, I like to thank Penske Shocks. This is the second time I ran them. We're 2 for 2 with them, and without them on, I wouldn't have won. We've got.
Hi, my name's Jessica Baylor, and welcome to Port Royal Speedway for tonight's World of Outlaw show.
And here we go. The green flag is out. 30 laps, $10,000. The feature is underway. Brad Burr leads the drag race into the first turn. Jack Howdenchild moves from the second row into the lead. Howdenchild, the wild child with a big move, takes over the lead.
The good news is the port is wet and fast. The sprinters are sticking so tight in the turns that they're slowing down for the straightaways. After Steve Kinzer blew a tire and hit the rail, the red came out for a Quaker State break. Steve and DeWeese would have time to repair and restart on the rear, but no other cars were allowed to refuel, a fact that would play heavily into the race outcome.
Out Haudchild up against the cushion. Out in front. This time Hodnett tries the bottom on Mark Kinzer. Haudchild slowing in the number 5. Haudchild off the pace of the number 5. All of a sudden, Brad Furr with a missing cylinder is the new leader. And Haudchild is slowing. Haudchild off the pace. What a turn of events for the number 5. Could Haudchild be out of gas down the backstretch? Brad Furr now the leader. Brad Furr with a missing engine leads the field in the checkered flag. Brad Furr the winner. Mark Kinzer will finish second. Craig Hodnett is third.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I just stayed in there and tried to keep it rolling around there. Yeah, it's too bad for Jack. He really dominated the race. I hate to see him lose one that way, but we'll take it.
October 5th, the Super Sportsmen wind up their season at Silver Spring.
J.R. Fry, number 42, takes first from the black number 90 of rookie Scott Lutz. We'll use this occasion to make a correction. Jason Fry is J.R.'s nephew, not brother, as misstated earlier. JR goes on to hold off a last lap challenge by 6-time point champ Howie Locke, number 77. Frankie Herr finished third.
Oh, JR, we could just about write a textbook on what you did tonight.
Oh, I don't know about that. That last yellow there, I got pretty tight, and Howie was really putting the pressure on. I almost messed up a few times there. But I got to thank Howie for running me good, and that was an awesome race. It's nice when you can beat one of the best here.
Over at Lincoln, Shawn Michael, number 1, again grabs first at the start over fellow front row starter Lance DeWeese, 77, in the Kenny Weld Memorial 40-lapper. Darren Ace spins on the front stretch, and now Glendon Forsythe makes it a red. Lap 18, Michael is snake bit again. A few laps later, the Zemco car suffers another setback, but will return to finish 8th. Lap 39. 8th place starter and point champ Fred Raymer, 88, is still the man here at Lincoln. But owner Joe Hars manages to steal the show in Victory Lane.
What a season. It feels good to beat the red car. That's all I live for, is to beat the red car. They may have everything they want to race, but this little team here can kick their ass when things are right at Lincoln Speedway.
We slip down the turnpike to Path Valley, where the season-ending shows are being beat up by rainy weather. We did get to see this 600cc micro feature. Hard hits in turn 3 leave Lucas Wolf and Jimmy Brookins on their lids. Richie Fitz from Crystal Springs works around the outside of Dusty Histon for the win tonight on a perfect track surface at Path Valley. October 19th, we bask in the glamour that is Linda's Speedway. It's National Open Weekend. 14 different states are represented by the record 103 entries in the 270 division. The absurdity meter pegged when every one of them time-trialed Friday night, pushing the heats back to after 10. The cops visited in the AM hours, politely ending the marathon. Perhaps top drivers who insist on this nonsense could be sentenced to sit in the stands through one of these shows. The National pays well over $2,000 to win. Sean Ratchford rolls it over. Here's another look at a major micro fillet. Christy Swigert catches the inside barrier. We again see Randy West, 23, in victory lane after starting on the pole and leading every lap. Randy was followed in the 30-lapper by Tim Bertrand and Mike Irwin. A record turnout of 53 600cc micros are also part of Linda's National Open, the East's premier event for little sprinters. We roughing takes a hard hit. Steve Buckwater, number 1, leads. Tim Oog, 8, takes over first after Buckwater crosses up. Now the 35 of Steve Owings makes it a three-way race for first, and they are dicing. But there's trouble ahead. Oog gets past the stalled car. Buckwater throws his car sideways, and Owings takes off Buckwater's front wheel before flipping. So it's New Jersey's second-generation racer Tim Oog home first for the $1,200 over Barry Shearer and Brett Schoenling. October 26th. Steve Wilbur leads the field as the Super Sportsmen are part of the Williams Grove Invitational Feature Fest. Ryan Rupp goes end for end. Wilbur wires the 20-lapper over Howie Locke. It's Steve's third win of the season. Our last look at the 358s for the year will feature Adrian Schaefer, 21, and Mike Miller, 00.
Side by side, down the backstretch, Adrian Schaefer trying to make the move on the 00 to the inside. Adrian Schaefer bolts to the bottom and takes the lead. 8 down, Adrian Schaefer, the leader.
Adrian and Mike finished 1-2. Brooke Weibly, 32, led most of the 410 feature, but here come Greg Hodnett, 12, and Fred Raymer, 88, as all three head into lap traffic.
Fred Raymer to the inside, fast Freddie to the inside, passes Greg Hodnett. Hodnett back up to second. It was short-lived. Hodnett on the inside and takes the lead. Greg Hodnett with an inside move and takes the lead. Hodnett leads lap number 21.
Nobody has had a better season than the Red Rocket. We wind up at Hagerstown for the highly successful Oktoberfest, which sets car count records with well over 200. Jamie Mills flips his modified. Just as when we started here about 4 hours ago, Shawn Michael, number 1, leads the 50-lap sprint car feature over Lance DeWeese. Deja vu. Fred Raymer inherits the lead. Winning drivers don't come cleaner than DeWeese, and Michael certainly has made his share of mistakes. But no matter what you think of this incident, we feel for Shawn, who we've seen get run over as often as anybody this year. A locked front wheel sent Raymer to the pits, and the new leader is Chad Layton. Another great run by Brooke Weibly nets a close second. Chad's win so soon after moving into the 410 ranks stands in testament to all the 358 teams. And we leave you this year with small cars having big problems. Thank you to all the announcers and track personnel, way too numerous to mention, for your cooperation. Another thanks to our long-distance helpers, Candy Baker, Vicky Harker, Brian Thompson, Mark Douglas, Scott Beyer, Mike Harker, and Jim Murdoch. Lynn Schaefer Productions cameramen on the circuit are Jeff Hall, Audrey Boyd, Fred Klunk, and Peggy. It's a godsend to work so closely with Sports Plus Video, including Steve Doug and Kathy Agigius, along with Mike Bowers. Much of the Silver Spring coverage comes courtesy of the Wise Guy, Kirk Wise, and his cameraman, Ron Moyer. Lots of Port Royal help from Red and Janet Weiland. Bill Bush is our friend at Grandview and Big Diamond. Barry Boyd the same, with the micros everywhere. Our Florida thanks to Bo, Jangles, or whatever your last name is. Congratulations to Fred and Sarah Klunk on the birth of Carolyn. These times call for a big thank you to all of our veterans who fought and died for America, not the United Nations. America, the greatest country there will ever be. Until next year, life is not for finding yourself, but for creating yourself.